Alright.
You're like,
Yeah. Alright. Dude, how does that look?
that looks awesome.
Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan of that anamorphic lens flare. If you guys aren't familiar with the anamorphic look or anamorphic lenses, typically these lenses are very expensive. They're used by a lot of Hollywood films. I'm sure you've heard of J.J. Abrams and those lens flares. Personally, I love them. I think it adds a character to it. Again, I'm a huge fan of them. Anamorphic lenses themselves are very expensive, and typically they come in a PL mount. I'm gonna say like 99% of them come in a PL mount. So when you're trying to adapt that lens to, for example, like a Canon camera or even a Sony camera, you will need an adapter. And again, those things can get very expensive. So I did a one light challenge, and the third place winner, his name is Josh Haynes. He came out with this really awesome short film that had this anamorphic lens flare effect. And I asked him, I reached out to him and said, hey man, what lens did you use? Because that was really dope. And it turns out he told me, Armando, I didn't use a lens. I used a $35 adapter that I put on my Sigma 18-35. And I was like, whoa, you have to tell me the source. Like, where'd you get it? So there's this company by the name of VidAtlantic that actually, I guess you can say 3D prints these little guys that you can put on your Sigma 18-35. It has an oval shape similar to anamorphic lenses. And there's a small little, I wanna say, it looks like a fishing line, but it's more like a thread. And you can get them in different colors too. And the idea behind this is that they are in a vertical position, so that way when the light source hits it, it creates that line horizontally. So it's very easy to install. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, and then you're gonna come with me and we're gonna do some test footage. So what you do is you'll need a very small screwdriver, probably the smallest one that you can find. And there's three little screws that are on top of the mount in this black area right next to the connector. And what I will recommend that you do is don't take the screws out, just loosen them up, because the actual filter itself will actually slide in once you loosen these screws up. So I have all of my screws loosened up, and there's two sides. There's one that looks kind of ugly, and then there's another side that looks a little bit more cleaner where you see all of like the 3D printed lines. That's the side that's gonna go up. And all you need to do is literally just place it down over the screws and it'll fall into place. Just like that, kind of turn it. And then once it's there, just tighten it back up. Now I will say, be very, very careful when you tighten it, because this little filter is so thin, and I did this mistake the first time, is I over tighten it, and then what happens is you start to kind of wear it down. All right, so I think I got that, ready to go. And if you've successfully installed it, it should look something like this. Now this one here only fits the Sigma 18-35. Now if you don't have this lens, they do have some other options that you can select. For example, you can buy a filter that threads over your lens. This one here is a 77mm, and what you can do is just pop this over your lens, and this will also give you a very similar effect. So now that we have this put on, let's go ahead and try it out and see what kind of results we can get. I don't know about you, but to me that just looks very cinematic, and personally I like that look. It just adds more character to your film or whatever video it is that you're shooting. And especially because this is only $35, this is something that I would definitely recommend and that you can carry with you anywhere you go, or you can actually just leave it on here and just forget about it. Now, if you're looking for another way to enhance your video, Storyblocks is actually a great tool that I've used now for, I want to say, almost 5 years. Like, for example, if you do a search on their website for lens distortion, you'll see a bunch of light leaks, lens flare that I've actually used on my videos. For example, on my one light challenge, I used a lens distortion type of effect. I also did this on my AirPods video where you have these light leaks, and personally, I think it just adds character. Now, they also have some other stock footage that you can use. All of their stuff is royalty free, and the best part about it is that you can use these on commercial projects or even your personal projects, and you can even download these in 4K. They also have some After Effects templates, motion backgrounds, and they're constantly updating their website. And I do want to thank them for also sponsoring today's video. I will leave a link down below so you guys can go ahead and check them out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Also, if you guys have any questions regarding any of the stuff that I showed you guys, leave me a comment down below. Follow me on Instagram if you guys want to see behind the scenes. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios.